So yeah, I've been looking forward to this day for 3 years, and the journey starts basically because of my passion for motorcycles. I love motorcycles so much so that I wanted to start building custom motorcycles and sell them. Like I wanted to go to an extent I want to sell accessories here, jackets and stuff like that. But this all stopped because like when I went to Singapore, and it was just like I saw a lot of these scooters. They do 60 kilometers in one range, and I'm like, this is the future. Electric mobility is the future. And then came back home, met up with my ex-boss, Lee Bazaljet. My dad is a master fabricator, Lee Bazaljet, product designer, like an icon in Sri Lanka. And I was like, we need to start building this. We need to build something that's convenient, something that augments life. We need to build something that is sustainable. Sustainable for you and the planet, for me and the planet, right? We need to think something that's, when I say you, I mean when I say sustainable, it's not just like carbon emissions or whatever. It's about physical health, it's about mental health, it's about cardio, it's about fitness, because a sustainable lifestyle is how we can like live happily. So this is what we need to do. And then also about with the planet, reduce the carbon footprint. We need to think of something economical, right? I can't be some, I mean, I wish we could send something like Ferrari can sell, like something really expensive, but that's not, our target focus is Sri Lanka, because this product is made and designed in Sri Lanka. Our target market initially is Sri Lanka. So we need to think about something that's economical. And then we came up with Rhoda AT, Sri Lanka's first electric bicycle. And this is what, when you see this word, there's one feeling that is invoked in your hearts. Commute, right? It's dreadful. It creates nothing but stress in your hearts. How do we overcome this? This is why. This is one of the main reasons we need electric bicycles. Why do we have a commute? Why do we have such a dreadful image of commute? Because there's 1 million people coming to Colombo every single day. That's like 1/6 of New Zealand's population, right? And then think about it, 1/6 of New Zealand population is coming to Colombo every single day. I mean, this is the speed that we're going in. Regardless of you owning a Model S, P20 with ludicrous mode, you're still going at 10 kilometers per hour in the roads of Sri Lanka during rush hour, right? So it doesn't matter what you own, and it doesn't matter the mode of transport also. You can like go in a tuk, bus, anything. It's still 10 kilometers per hour. So there's only one option. You have like, you can't, like, so buses, it's fall into traffic. Everything falls under traffic, this 10 kilometers per hour, except one option, which is cycling. Cycling is a pipeline dream. Cycling to work is a dream of everyone right down here, 100%. But no one's going to do it because we don't want to be this guy, right? We don't want to be perspiring and we went to what you call office, right? Because one, you have to put the effort into riding it, but then the second, the sun hits. I mean, Netherlands is fine because if the weather is chill, even though you're putting in effort, you know, the weather like manages that. But we can't do it here, even though we want to. Right? So, that's what we came up with, Rhoda. Rhoda AT, all-terrain, is something again, convenient, sustainable, economical, and designed and made in Sri Lanka. Right, so we want to redefine cycling. That's what our vision is, right? And we did this through a combination of engineering, hardware and software engineering. Starting with, obviously, the motor and the battery. Electric bicycles, right? And then this motor and battery adds 2 more modes of cycling to an existing bicycle. I'll go through it. Apart from the pure cycling, you know, where you can cycle, the Rhoda, you can cycle like as usual, but you can also, you have 2 more modes, right? So here I'm calling it pure cycling, where you can burn serious calories. And then you have cruiser mode, where basically you are on a safer motorcycle. You're not going to kill yourself, because most of the people who I know don't want to get into a motorcycle, even though they know it's convenient, is because it's too scary. I ride a motorcycle, so I know. Every time I get on, I'm like, I have a death issue. I absolutely agree to this. My mom hates that when I say that, but that's the truth, right? So here you have a cruiser mode, where it's a safer motorcycle, you can say. Motorcycle is a bit of a stretch, but yeah. And then you don't need to pedal. Then you have another mode, which is called power assist mode. This is my favorite mode. And then why is because it feels like magic. So imagine you're pedaling down the streets, right? And then you just feel someone pushing you from behind. That's how this feels. Right? You're still pedaling, you're still putting that effort. But there's someone pushing you from behind. So I like to call that the invisible pusher, right? And we have 5 levels of this invisible pusher. You want to ride like, you want to put in more effort and like have that guy just chilling or that girl chilling? You have level 1. You want level 5, yeah, you're just like not doing anything, you're just like pedaling for the sake of pedaling. You have level 5. So that's, and then the faster you pedal, the harder the push. So then we want to actually put, I want to call Lee. So Lee has recorded a video, because we are all doing this remotely because of COVID. I think I want to play a video by Lee, where he, the head of design at Rhoda, is going to share like.
Hey everyone, I'm really sorry I can't be there to share in this evening's really exciting launch of the Rhoda AT electric bicycle that we have been designing for the last couple of years. I'm here to tell you a little bit about the design of the bicycle, some of the decisions that we made and the reasons behind them. But basically we set out to build the best electric bicycle that we could. And we believe we are well on the way to doing that with our Rhoda AT, and really hope that you get to ride it, that you get to own one, that you get to enjoy the fantastic experience that it offers. Let me just try sharing my screen with the presentation. So, as we all know, good design puts a smile on everyone's face, and that's what we have set out to do. And we really hope that we've achieved that. I think once you get to have a go on the bike, you will really be smiling from ear to ear. I can't wait till I can get back to Sri Lanka to have a go myself, to be honest. But at the moment, that doesn't seem possible. So anyway, you might ask why we haven't just imported a bike from China, for example. There are many e-bikes out there, but we really wanted to design a bike that is contextually sensitive to the experience of cycling in Sri Lanka. I've personally cycled around Sri Lanka twice by push bike, and as Yas knows, I was also riding to work back in the day on my little folding bicycle. And you know, this is sort of 8 years ago. I was one of the only people really doing that, certainly in my office. But I'm a big cyclist. I've cycled around London a lot. But what I think is really important is designing something that is relevant to the space where it's used. And that's why we decided that we wanted to design and build our own electric bicycle right there in Sri Lanka, so that it really works for the environment where it's being used, and for the people who are using it. So to that end, we started, as we always do, with a blank piece of paper and a pen, and began to sketch some ideas. And one of the ideas that came up really early on, and we really felt we didn't want to compromise on, was to have a step-through design. That is to say that we don't have a top tube. Instead, we drop the frame down and around, which allows you to literally step through onto the bike. There are many reasons behind this. One of them, which I believe is really important, is that you can ride this bike in a sarong, you can ride this bike in a sari, you can ride this bike in a skirt or in a dress. We wanted to make a bike that's comfortable for everyone. This also means it's much easier to get on and off the bike, which makes the whole riding experience really easy from the very first time you approach it, which is, you know, really important when we're designing something that is really the people's bike. We want everyone to have one of these. We want everyone to enjoy one of these. So we've made it a bike that is comfortable for everyone to ride. It is a bicycle, so it has pedals. You might ask why, but the really important thing about an electric bicycle is that it's still a bicycle. You can still ride it like a bicycle. You still get exercise like you do when you're riding a bicycle. And so, you know, it's really important that it has pedals to allow you to ride along. There's more on that, of course, which is how that they seamlessly integrate with the rest of what's going on with the electronic side of the bicycle. And that's something that I will come to in a moment. We really wanted this bike to be a comfortable ride. And so when we started out with the design, we chose these really fat 4-inch tires. Also because we think they look really awesome and they give it this really rugged, tough bike kind of look. But, you know, as I say, I'm an experienced cyclist in and around Sri Lanka and Colombo, and I know that some of the roads are less than comfortable to cycle on. And these bikes, of course, will allow you to absorb those bumps in the road and make your ride a lot more comfy. But what's even more exciting is that they allow you to tackle terrain that you might not otherwise be able to go on. You can get onto the beach, ride out over the sands, experience one of those beautiful sunsets, and then ride home. Or if you're on the East Coast, you can get up early and watch the sun rise as you go for your morning surf. So we think that's really exciting. It's a really exciting feature of this bike to have these all-terrain tires to take you basically wherever you want to go. So again, as a cyclist, someone who's commuted a lot, I know that security is something you always worry about when you have a bicycle. And it's a real pain to have to carry around a heavy lock in your bag or strapped to your body somewhere or hold it in your hand. So we have integrated the locking mechanism directly into the frame of the Rhoda. And you can see from these slides that you simply pull out the steel cable from inside the frame, wrap it around a fixed object like a lamppost or a bike stand, and plug it straight back into the side of the bike. This is all seamlessly integrated with the smarts, the technology behind the app, which allows you to unlock and lock your bike from basically the palm of your hand, something that we would really start to expect from smart technology. And that's what really makes this a smart bicycle. Another aspect of commuting, which is really important, is of course being seen and being able to see where you're going, especially at night, obviously. And so we've integrated LED headlights and tail lights, again, right into the design of the bike. And these work seamlessly with the connected smartphone app to allow you to switch the lights on and off and make sure basically that you're as safe as you possibly can be when riding to and from your destinations. Okay, so what makes it an electric bicycle? What really brings it to life is, of course, the integrated hub motor, which is seamlessly built into the rear wheel on the Rhoda 80. This is what gives you that magic assist, the invisible pusher, and the cruise mode, which just allows you to enjoy the ride as comfortably and as easily as possible. And of course, is integrated with how you're riding the bike, again, which gives you the assist, but also allows you to be getting some exercise at the same time. As mentioned before, the Rhoda bike is a smart bicycle. It integrates with our custom-built smartphone application, and of course, we've built a phone mount into the design of the bike, so you can easily mount your phone somewhere where you can see it really clearly. You can access the functions. It's not going to be distracting you from the environment around you. Again, to keep you as safe as possible and make sure that your ride is as comfortable as possible. Yes, we'll talk a bit more about the smartphone application and how it integrates in just a moment. Alongside the smartphone app is a control pad, which is right by your thumb. So it's in a super convenient position. And this allows you to quickly and easily adjust certain elements of the ride right there at your fingertips. So you don't have to reach down and touch the phone or use that interface in that way. Alongside the thumb controls is a twist throttle, which gives you much more sort of motorbike style riding when you're in cruise mode, or when you're just using the motor and maybe not pedaling so much. This allows you to control your speed using a twist throttle. So for those of you who are thinking about moving from maybe a scooter, or were perhaps considering a scooter, we think that the electronic bicycle, the Rhoda AT, is really the way you should be looking. It's going to cost you less, it's going to be more comfortable, it's much more environmentally friendly, and you'll also be getting some exercise. So you're not just going to sit there and watch the world go by. You're actively engaged in the experience of riding this bicycle. What brings that all to life actually is the Hall effect sensor, which is mounted down in the bottom bracket and is constantly monitoring the input from your legs. So this is what combines the power that you're giving to the bike with the power of the motor, and seamlessly integrates those two, so that as you pedal more, the motor gives more push. So this is the invisible pusher is really responding to how you want to ride, which makes it like really exciting, but also is this kind of magical experience. It's a completely new way of riding a bike, where it just feels like someone's giving you that extra push that you've always wanted to have. And of course, for just the fact that this is an everyday bicycle, we have got some 4 liters of luggage space, which is safely locked under the seat. And, you know, again, it's been designed contextually. So we know that you need it to be water resistant as a minimum. In Sri Lanka, it's going to rain. You're going to get caught out from time to time. So we've boxed all that in, and all the sensitive electronics and everything is in a secure, locked, water resistant compartment built right into the design of the bike itself. So let's just have a little recap. We've got the step-through design allowing you to easily jump on and off the bike. And again, it's about being comfortable in what you want to wear. You don't have to get dressed up to ride the Rhoda AT. You can step into it in your sarong and off you go. We've got the fat tires for comfort, to absorb those bumps in the road and also to take you where you never thought you could go. The seamlessly integrated hub motor and lock and lights, you know, everything is joined together in a way that means that it all works and looks like it's meant to be part of the same thing. You get pedals, it's a bicycle, you get the Hall effect sensor monitoring your input from your legs and combining that with the power from the motor. You can mount your phone in an instant, right where you need it to be. And you get that 4 liters of lockable storage space built right into the frame. So I'm really excited to be able to finally reveal and unveil the Rhoda this evening. It's such an amazing experience. We've worked tirelessly to bring this to you guys. So I really hope that you're excited as we are, and that you know, you get your hands on one. And when I get back into the country, I want to see these riding around the streets of Colombo. So thanks a lot for being here, and I'll hand you back over to Yas to take you through more of the amazing features that we've managed to put together.
Right, so as you can see, he's very passionate about it, so he gave a very in-depth design. So simply put, so yeah, step-through design, fat tires, hub motor, integrated lock, water-resistant design, LED tail lights, headlights, pedals, Hall effect sensor, phone mount, control pad, and 4 meters of luggage. So now software. So we spoke about hardware. We spoke up to now about hardware. Now we're going to talk about software. And this bicycle we'd like to consider it as a smart bicycle. And why? Because, so we consider this to be a smart bicycle, but we're going a bit on a different approach than your traditional smart bicycles. It's because we are using a system called distributed computing. We are not running, the brains of the bicycle is not on the bicycle. The brains of the bicycle is on the phone, right? So you have access, you have power that your brains, basically, which is in your pockets, insane amount of computing power that's been tucked away in your pockets is now being used through sensors that we put at individual, like at different aspects of the bike. So by this, you have a smartphone powered smart bicycle, right? And because of this, we are able to use this, which is biometric authentication. Face ID, touch ID, we trust our phones with everything, bank accounts to like everything. So now you have one more thing, which is your phone. So because the phone, end of the day, is an extension of you, and we believe that this is going to allow like unprecedented security for the bicycle, because without your phone, you can't switch on your bike, unless they have the key. Key is your phone, but you have an additional key. So, and then another thing, which is the heads-up display. So now, usually a heads-up display is an LCD panel. Now, yes, we do have an LCD panel option on this, but fundamentally, it's the app that's the heads-up display. So now we are able to customize it, we are able to change it, we are able to give over-the-air updates, which is not something that's common in any vehicles. Maybe except for Tesla, but Tesla is an outlier, apart from it, right? So over-the-air updates to like your heads-up display. You're able to toggle, you're able to see your speed, you're able to see your battery level, your power, you're able to toggle your locks and your lights. You can see here on the top row, you can see there's like lights and stuff like that. You're able to switch them on and off. We have something called cruise control through the power of the phone. Now, the reason I describe cruise control like this is because bicycles innately, or motorcycles, or two-wheelers do not usually have cruise control. And cruise control, when you engage it, it's a very weird feeling. Because you're just sitting there, and your bike is just moving. And I can't think of any other example better than Jasmine and Aladdin, where you're on the magic carpet, and you're just sitting, and just going, right? And now you have wind, now you're over here, and all the jazz. Because in a car, even though you have cruise control, you're still not out there, right? But in a bicycle, you're out there. When you just scrolling past. So yeah, the magic carpet effect, I guess. And then smart algorithms, which basically where we calculate calories. I mean, you can use Strava to calculate calories on a bicycle, but this is not a bicycle. This is it's a bit of a motor there. It needs to calculate how much power you're putting in the motor, how much power you're putting from the U, and so all that jazz. So this, your smartphone is able to calculate the calories more accurately than Strava. And then your carbon, your footprint. So CO2e is basically carbon dioxide equivalent. We'll go through that later, but it's basically your carbon footprint. You are able to calculate you are able to see your daily impact towards sustainability. Your sustainability of the world. What's your impact, right? These numbers are going to shock you, but it's really, I mean, the numbers like kilogram wise, right? So basically, you're able to see how many kilograms did you save from emissions on a daily basis, on a trip basis. So yeah, smart bicycle. More than just a wheel and a motor, right? So distributed computing, biometric authentication, heads-up display, cruise control, smart algorithm. We consider this to be a different class of vehicles altogether, because it's not a bicycle, it's not a motorcycle, it's a smart bicycle. Just like the smartphone, when Steve Jobs introduced it, right? So again, convenient, sustainable, economical. These are our core fundamental principles. Now I spoke about all the tech behind these principles. Now let's see how this applies to these principles, right? Convenient, like I said, augments life. How does it augment? Easy to learn, easy to write, right? Easier to write. I mean, we have a beautiful example, which I will share later, of how easy this is to write. 2 minutes, by the way. Anyone who doesn't know how to ride a bicycle, they're going to learn how to ride a bicycle in 2 minutes, right? Because usually to ride a bicycle, you need to have momentum, balance, and pedal. You need to start pedaling. This removes having to pedal to gain momentum by using throttle. So now you are throttling to gain the momentum, and then you're pedaling to move. So as a bicyclist who's like a beginner bicyclist, this is a dream. But also fast. I mean, like stop and go traffic, signal lights, right? Just stop, right? Instead of having to pedal very hard, like start to get that momentum, you just throttle and then start pedaling. So easy to learn, easy to ride. Start riding from day one. So no registrations, no licenses, no emissions, no emission tests, whatever. You get the bicycle, you start riding the bicycle. You don't need any pre or post regulations, anything, because the bicycle is designed in such a way that it falls under. It does not go into a range where you need to start registering for this one. Because electric bicycles you need to register, but the power of this is limited. You are able to run it for the entire day. You have charge for your entire commute without a problem. And when I say commute, does not just mean work. You're talking about office commute, you're talking about running errands, you're talking about chilling with your friends, an entire day. My life honestly has completely changed when it comes to cost, but which I'll go into later, but the fact that you can just like plug it one day and then just like completely do whatever you want without thinking about transport, anything. Like travel, pick me. I have not gone in like a tuk or pick me or bus or car or anyone, because I'd rather just ride, honestly. And you'll see why. Powerful, but so like I said earlier, just because it's limited does not mean it's not powerful enough. You're talking about any hill. You're talking about riding in the beach. Something very weird. You don't ride bicycles on a beach because your tires dig in. But because of the design, because of the 4-inch wheels, because of like, and the motor and all that jazz, you're able to pedal on a beach, which is so, it's like you're on moon. Like you're just like, gravity is a bit low and you're just like sliding and skidding, but you're still moving. It's amazing. Smartphone access. Like I said, never forget your keys, because your keys are always with you, right? And then, faster than traffic. Remember that number that I told you, 10 kilometers per hour, right? In traffic. On average, we've done this model that you see here right now. Just cover it for for the effect. We've done 1,000 kilometers on it, and we've seen an average of 19 kilometers per hour, 18, 19 kilometers per hour average speed. Any traffic, any time, right? This is why I write it. Right, sustainable. So we spoke about convenience, now we're talking about sustainable, how it's sustainable for you and me, and the planet. Well, sustainable for me, because if you buy, that means I get money, and I have to be sustainable. So you're still burning calories, because the bicycle, you're still pedaling. Your heart rate is still going up, right? Even though there's a motor, you're still putting 70% effort to ride the bicycle. And you're having your heart just pump in the morning, right? But not much effort, but still, you're moving. There's, so yeah, 30% less than a conventional bicycle. So you're going from hatch to mount, it's 30% less, but so you're still burning calories. Improves mental health. Okay, this is weird. Mental health. So traffic is linked to depression and stress. There's plenty of research that backs this, right? And there's also plenty of research that says active commuting instead of passive commuting, like cars and motorcycles, where you're behind the wheel somewhere. Active commuting, where you're like cycling or walking, improves, so reduces the risk of depression and improves your mentality when you get into the day, because you have testosterone pumping in your body in the morning, right? So this basically helps you. It gives you that kick in the morning, to start the day. So it reduces. This is how, by extension, reduces depression. Active lifestyle. This is something that we are all getting. Sedentary lifestyle. Just sitting at home, sleeping at home, sitting on a computer, coming to office, sitting at office, coming back home, sitting at home again, going to friends, sitting at their couches. It's just sitting. You're just sitting. Your life of sitting, right? So this, you're forced to move, use some effort in the morning and then in the evening, right? So you're breaking away. You can move towards an active lifestyle. Reduce your carbon footprint, individual carbon. I mean, again, I'll show the numbers, but this, you are emitting less greenhouse gases than running, which is very weird. Because think about it, when you think, okay, running, what am I burning? What fuel am I burning? Well, you're burning food, and food, there is a footprint behind food production. So this takes into account all of that stuff. So you are, because now you are using less energy when you're going on an electric bicycle, because you're not burning as much food, right? So it reduces your individual carbon. Reclaim cities. Look at all these roads. Look at Colombo city. It's completely full of cars. 1 million, whatever, right? We need to reclaim this, because these cities were not built for cars. Like no city in the world is built for cars, especially old colonial cities, right? Because they're built for like walking, and then like suddenly cars came in, and then just like they were over to it. There's places like in Europe, like in Germany and in the Netherlands, where they are like sectioning off certain aspects, certain parts of the city just for like walking and pedaling and cycling and stuff like that. So what we can do is we can have like Colombo Fort just like closed off. Man, trust me, Colombo Fort, like going through Petra Market, I can ask any one of you, Colombo Petra Market is going to be like dreadful, because it's just like, oh my god, like it's so many people walking around and all those guys. And this, I love going to Colombo Petra in the road there, because you're just like, it's a bicycle, you just listen, and then you have throttle, and you're like, you stop there and then go and stop there and go in. But it's like you're still moving, and you're not like stuck somewhere. You're not stuck behind a wheel. And it's just different. So the idea is convert the complete Colombo city, Colombo Fort. Start with Colombo Fort, move all the cars away, block access to the cars, and just get in bicycles and walking. Done. Life is simple. So yeah, reclaim cities. This is 50 people in 50 cars, 50 people in 50 bicycles, and 50 people in a bus. Right? You can see the amount of exponential traffic growth. This is why we have traffic. Right? It's not bigger roads are not going to help, nicer roads are not going to help. Monkey road may help for discipline, but it's not going to help, because more cars means more harm. And then there is hope. The government is pushing towards a cycling future. We are going to get, apparently, a cycle from, I truly believe that we are going to get a cycle path from Barcelona to Colombo, right? It changes the game. And then when this builds, you already build up like a nice stamina, and you're just like riding along, right? Cooler than everyone else. So, and then we have the park and ride go system, where you basically park your car at like say like this is in Markubura, and then you basically ride a bus or ride a train. But here, you're riding a bicycle, but an electric bicycle. Ideally, you're riding a roller from Markubura to your office. Go back home, mount the roller onto your car, go wherever you want. So commuting from Gaul, you live in Gaul, fine, get out of the highway, park your car, work in Colombo, you're still able to work in Colombo. This is the future that we see. So sustain, because the future is not making more and more cars, because it's not sustainable to do that. But we all want some sort of convenient transport. Well, this is it. This is what we feel. And then economical. Obviously, it's minimum service. Like it's just a conventional bicycle, which is like servicing. Like there's no complex oil changes, greasing stuff like that. So yeah, so it's minimum services. It's similar to a very conventional bicycle. Significant travel, drop in travel costs, 95% significant. Can you look at rupees per kilometer? And this is because, I mean, the reason I use bicycle is because the bicycle is the most cheapest way to move around. Or motorcycle is the cheapest way to move around. But here you're seeing 95% less than a motorcycle. That's like, yeah. You're gonna see the numbers. And then low barrier to entry. We want to make this so that everyone can be a roadie. Someone who wants road, right? So we want to make this the cheapest and reliable project. This was our principal mission. Right, so demo. My partner in crime, Wasim. So he helped me build this bike, right? So so he's going to give us a small demo. I think we are able to maybe right over here. I think so. So yeah, that's the lock that he's putting it in, right? So he unlocks the bike and then he puts the block in, so it's all integrated, right? And then he uses the app, right, to unlock it. He mounts the app on the phone, on the holder. Yeah. Right, perfect. So he mounts the app, he gets on, switches on to the thumb, this one. Right, and then start riding. So yeah, this is throttle. There you go. Right, throttling down. There. So yeah, so he's just cruising by, right? And then he's going to show you pedal in a bit. Use the yeah. I thought it was like disaster. Yeah. So that's it. Right? Simple as that. It's like a bicycle. It looks like a bicycle. It's like a low key, like a hidden. This one. You can't even see like it's can you bring it over here somewhere? So yeah, simple as that. So yeah, there you have it, Rhoda. So next we have Ash, who basically got access to the bike, right, for like a day, and then she's like the co-founder of like so many cool things. One of my favorite brands, Push Skates. She active lifestyle, moving around. You know, she depends on tips and stuff. But now I was going to ask her to come about, and just like tell me. Come on, yeah, come on, so yeah, so she's basically going to tell. So yeah, how was your day with Rhoda?
I loved it, and I use the electric scooter. So like when you said electric bike, I was overwhelmed then, you know. But this is amazing. I thought, okay, I'll have to get used to it. I'll probably, you know, I'll have to fall once or something. But no, it was I just picked it up, and you know, it was like I had so much fun. I enjoyed it. Like every time you spoke about the things, like everything you spoke about, I enjoyed everything. So my favorite thing is the thickness of the tires. Yeah. So I rode on the pavements too. I don't think it's legal, so you guys should. I guess. But yeah, so I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man.
No worries, man. So how do you see yourself commuting on a daily basis?
So I usually like if I have to go for a meeting or for a shoot, I take electric scooter. I definitely ride in this because this is much more easier, plus with the space, like luggage space as well.
Yes.
And I think this is much safer than a scooter also.
Faster.
Yeah, and faster. Yeah. And it's so much fun. Like I was like smiling the whole time. I'm riding this, I'm smiling, and even when you're speaking about it, I was just smiling because I could feel it, like how much it made me happy. I love it.
Thank you very much.
No,
Thank you, Ash. Thank you very much. So I want to give like first-person accounts to Watson because I've been talking a lot, but I want like other people to come in, and I didn't pay for it. I didn't pay. So yeah, and next we have Ace Dot. Right? So esports national team player, right? He has an interesting story. Please come on. So Charlie has an interesting story because like I sat down with him and I was like, dude, we need to talk about this bike. You need to take the bike for a day. Just like ride around and all that stuff. He's like, dude, yeah, I'm sure. He was so happy to do it. But then at the end he goes like, I've never ridden a bicycle. Because this guy, so tell me about your normal commute.
Yeah, so
how do you usually commute?
So normally I do work part-time and I'm a student, so usually I use it to or a bus ride to go for a commute, right? So when I was using the roller, like as you said, it was my first time and I thought I would have a lot of trouble because I've never ridden a bicycle before, like never in my life. So I picked up the roller in just under 5 minutes. Just under 5 minutes.
I counted it. I was timing it, yeah.
I was just cruising through the streets near the water's edge.
Total pro.
Yeah.
Total pro, right?
It was like seamless. Like it's like the experience like you get. I rode a bicycle once, but I didn't properly ride it. It's like you're riding a bicycle, you're getting the thrill of it, the fun of it, but it's like someone pushing you from behind. There's seamlessly no effort at all. It's like, as you said, the magic carpet. It's like you're on the magic carpet. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so it's like he was telling me about like his life and his commute, and I was like, okay, this guy is the perfect customer for this. And at the end he goes, because I don't know about this whole new rider easy thing. I honestly didn't even know. And then he was like, yeah, I've never ridden. And I was like, oh my god, like how can he gonna like promote the bike without like not being able to ride? Then I was like, you know what, let's just try. Why not, right? And he rides it in like 2 minutes. He's like a pro. He's like going around Rajgiri, and I'm like, okay. So yeah. That's it. Thank you very much, Charlie. Next, we have one of my closest friends, right? Harley. Because, see, his lifestyle is very different from ours because he's like an artist, whatever. So, please, Harley, can you come and tell me your normal commute, how do you commute, how do you, because you also rode the road, obviously. Just share your experience.
Well, first of all, congratulations, by the way. I'm going to work really hard for this. So, I mean, yeah, man, congrats. It's great.
Not just me, it's like 3 people, it's like a team of people, you know, like a friends, family, groups, a lot of emotional support, you know. Anyway.
So, yeah, I mean, yes. But I actually saw you make this bike, walk in your house, and you said it's like a top secret project, but I saw this frame. And then you, let me ride it, not as much as I would have liked to, but what I really like about it actually is that, see, I take photographs on the street mostly. So, I mean, I've ridden electric bicycles before, but mostly they've been like the traditional bicycle form. And I really like, obviously, all the aspects of what you said and what everyone said. That's like, it's a no-brainer, right, for me. But I really like this for me because it's really easy to get off and get on. I don't have to like change where I keep my camera or keep anything else. It's just like, just get off. I don't even worry about the bike. You just leave it on the side. So it's super convenient because of that. So I think it's like a mix between walking and sort of riding a motorbike. And a motorbike is quite cumbersome on the street. You have to find a place to park or whatever it is. So I really like it because that's like one sort of specific thing that I like a lot about it. But everything else, of course, goes without saying, right? What everyone else said. It's fantastic, yeah.
So the step-through design, basically.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Harley. So that's why step-through design was like one of the fundamental features of this bike. Because we were like, you're going to wear a sarong, you're going to wear a skirt, you're going to wear like whatever. The bicycle should not be a hindrance, right? It's like slide in and then go, right? One of my favorite aspects of the step-through design is actually, so I'm riding and I want to take a U-turn, right? But typically you go on a U-turn and you just like find another U-turn. But here, I just like get off the bike, stop at a yellow crossing line, get off the bike, push the bike across the yellow line, and just like get on and just go, right? And it's legal, it's completely legal, right? So this was one of the aspects of the step-through design. So that's that. Next, I want to show you numbers, right? Commuting time. You see, this is basically taken for average 20-kilometer commute. You have, so typically my commute, so I live in Mount Lavinia, so Mount Lavinia to Hatch to Mount Lavinia, it's like 20 kilometers. And then I usually love to go on the power assist mode, and then I basically like, obviously if you're going to go commute with work rush hour, basically, these are the numbers for how many minutes it takes to commute, right? You can see here the train, obviously is the lowest, because train takes like what, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but you have to walk to the stations. There's a lot of addition there. So we talk about the entire commute. And then this is with road. Similar to a train, but more convenient because you're not going to walk in here. It's like get on and go. Because you're still going in the same route as a bicycle, but it's much faster than a bicycle. So next is basically cost in rupees. How many rupees does it go per kilometer? So Tuk obviously leads the way because we pay 35 rupees for pick me. That's for pick me, but then others we pay a lot. Then car and then bus and then train. Train is also cheap, 2 rupees. And for motorcycle about 6.5 rupees. This is just again for the commute. This is for its road, right? 20 cents per kilometer, right? So this is why I said again, I love this bicycle because it costs me so much less to get wherever I want to go. Health, right? So how many calories are you going to burn? So I put 10 because like I don't want to start with 0. Let's give them some like maybe you walk into your car or whatever. Train because you're walking a little bit more, so you're burning a little bit more. 500 calories is a well-balanced rice and curry. You're burning enough calories for rice and curry. That's basically 1 meal. Imagine the weight loss on this. Imagine the that's it. 1 meal is gone, right? And you're like, it's still. And this is again pedalist mode. Environment, most important for me. How many kilograms are you emitting on your daily commute? Kilograms of not carbon dioxide, but carbon dioxide equivalent. Greenhouse gases as a whole, right? The numbers are just right? So here it takes, so if you look at here the running, I told you about running. Running you actually consume a lot. You're not doing a favor by running, right? Because you're eating more food and you're going to burn more calories, and there's a carbon footprint. So for road, this is the number. Because here it's pedal assist. You're still if it's on like scooter mode, like a cruiser mode, you're going to get very less numbers. But since you're pedaling, this is the number, right? So commute time, cost of commute, health and fitness, environment, and the world. Bettering every single metric. Trust me, I tried to add more and just have some approximations in favor of so that the others reduce, but it just wasn't the case. So after this, I think every other mode of transport is not going to be looked the same way, because the numbers are just staggering. Now, fundamental features, range. Obviously, we need to know what the range is. But now, so range is depending on your riding style, right? So, like I said, you have the 2 modes. You have the pedal assist mode, power assist mode, where you are going 60 kilometers. You can go ride 60 kilometers in one full charge, right? So that's just about 20 kilometer commute, 10 kilometer errand, So one thing that I love to say is basically, so my mom still says, because I live at home, right? This is the future. This is what it is. And I still get to go. I have to go to the shop, cutting, right? And then before, I'm whining every time I go to the cutting. But now, I really don't whine because this is kade amma tama kade yavana. It's easy. That's life is easy now. I actually want to run an ad campaign on that slogan. So yeah, and then you have the 30 kilometers of just chilling. Just go to your friends, go to the park, go to wherever, you can do whatever your life is not limited to how much money you have for transport now, right? Because how much you're spending is very less. And then cruise mode, which is basically the motorcycle-ish mode, right? Where you can go 30 kilometers, one-way commute, and also the errands. Both modes you can go at 25 kilometers per hour, and this is limited because we can go more, but the thing is we want to keep this safe. Because it's a bicycle at the end of the day, right? And we want to keep it safe for travel. charge it. It just basically takes a normal socket, right? Like, I mean, you can come to Hatch and just like plug it in and then like chill and leave it to charge, right? So you can charge it anything. And it takes 4 hours to charge, a full charge, right? So plug in an office, whatever, go to a cafe, right? It's pretty easy. 12 rupees of worth energy. That's how much you're spending for one charge. 12 rupees. This is what my life is. 1,000 kilometers, 12 rupees a day. It's amazing. I swear to God, like it's like a huge burden off my mind. Because it uses like a half a unit. And then cycling, really fun. This is your ultimate travel companion. That's what we want this to be. Credits to like Jairu for this picture. I was like, I don't want to put this because it's my place, and he's like, no, put it. Right? So yeah. So again, convenient, sustainable, economic. These are the fundamental principles I believe bike really covers all this. And we have like, so what, okay, now we need to talk about price, right? Obviously, everyone's here for the price. These 3 principles, these 2 products somehow covers it, right? Like the word, it's compromise. You need to compromise. Like if you're riding a motorcycle, you're compromising certain things. You're riding a bicycle, you're compromising certain things, right? But then, let's say you want to cover all aspects, right? This is your strength. So you want to cycle to work, and then like use whatever you want to use your scooter to work, and then you want to cycle like to your friends or just chill or whatever, right? This is your cost. So what's good? Keep in mind, yes, you don't have the additional modes in a normal bicycle. You don't have the cruise control in a normal bicycle or motorcycle. Motorcycle cruise control is like Ferrari level motorcycles, right? You don't have, I think so. Because it was all concept, still not like there's no production. Safety, you're talking about biometric authentication, security, talking about smartphone heads-up display. These are not things that you have in a phone, or this price is not included in this, right? Maybe you can add certain gadgets and stuff like that to get it, but that means your price is increasing, but if not, you're compromising. 19 kilometers per hour, very important now. Health, right, to your fitness. Environment, lifetime cost, right? These are things that you need to consider when you're looking at this. So, yeah, that's this one. So, thank you everybody. Yeah, this is what the price is going to be. The base model is going to be 129,000. We have 2 colors, matte black and pearl white, right? So this is the alternate model. And then we also have the stainless steel model, because this you're looking at the premium, right? The stainless steel model is goes for 160,000, with the stainless steel and the shininess and all that. Because sometimes it's like a cool. Yeah, so that's your. So you can start pre-ordering today at Rhoda.live. Hopefully, we don't have technical difficulties and people can log into the website and hopefully order. Yeah. So we are looking to ship the first pre-orders by next quarter, first quarter, next year first quarter. Just a couple of months away. We need some time because of this is unprecedented times. We don't want to we rather under-promise and over-deliver than over-promise and under-deliver. So Founders Edition, you're not going to get a surfboard. It's just like, wow, this one. But you're going to get like a mural. First 50 founders can get a mural designed to their life, right? So that's it, right? So if you order like the first 50%, we can give you really cool mural, regardless of the model. And then we have a world of accessories, right? You have like baskets and like rattan baskets and wire baskets. We have surfboard stands, right? Racks and skateboard racks. Hashtag love this. We have the top box, which is like a really hardy box. Like you have a child seat. You can have your child just go for like a ride, right, with your child. Yeah, it's highly customizable. Like any color you want. Obviously these are added costs, but you can do the color you choose and we're paying for it, right? And then our first year goal is to have 100 roadies. This is like a play on like roadie, but 100 roadies in the city of 1 million commuters. That's our first year. 1,000. Sorry, 1,000. Sorry. Underwhelming myself. No, it's 1,000 roadies. Yeah, we want to have 1,000 roadies in the million for the first year because we want to ramp up. We want to ramp up production definitely. But we need to understand certain aspects to manufacturing, and like because of these times, man. Like we had to do this all remotely. It was insane. But somehow we were able to do it, and then we want to take that same energy. I think now everything is coming back. So yeah, 1,000 roadies. Our goal, our vision, honestly, is car facing. That's what we want. Because Colombo is the ideal town. Actually, any city in Sri Lanka is the ideal town for growth. Because everything is just 15 minutes away, 15 kilometers away, which is basically a ride, right? Go to Kandy. Oh my God, the Kandy traffic is insane. Nuwara, you can't enjoy Nuwara, right? Gaul, Mesa, Valikama, Jaffna, Anuradhapura, Coronado, these all cities that Rhoda can perfectly apply now. In the north, obviously, people are more cycle friendly. I hope like we're gonna get like more people from the north interested in this. So yeah, the idea is cycle free cities. Sorry, car free cities, not cycle free. Cycles, not even cycles actually. Road. We need smart bicycles in cities. So that may be crazy. The idea may be like insane, out of the like this whatever, but something that Steve Jobs says, something that I really have very close to my heart. The crazy ones are the ones that change the world, right? The ones who think crazy, right? Yeah, made in Sri Lanka, Rhoda, first electric bicycle. Thank you very much. I think it didn't rain outside, so people want to go for a ride. You're welcome to go for a ride outside. Yeah, that's it.